Hey guys, how we doing tonight? My name's Rusty. I'm gonna be your host for the night, and here with me is Shellatron. How we doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing real good, Rusty. We are in for a fantastic matchup. I do believe this is a rematch of the Season 5 Championship Series. We have North Michigan University, and we also have Team Solo Q on the Rift tonight, man. I'm actually really excited to see how these two teams match up in this league so far.
Yeah, and NMU coming off a really huge upset, or at least from mine and Medicine's perspective, to beating MG Element 2-0, and it didn't even seem that close. Team Solo Q, obviously the team to beat, already starting off 4-0. Now, every team does in this Radon Division does have a free win due to a team dropping out or, not being able to fill in that slot. But, Team Solo Q 3-0, NMU 1-2, coming off a huge win. I expect some full things coming out from NMU. I'm hoping for a 3-game period, but we'll see how it goes as it looks like they're getting ready up for the draft here. Oh, if we even have draft links, I don't even know.
Will we have draft?
No, we will not have draft links. They just started without it because we are going right into the champion select. Not what I quite expected, honestly. This is probably the first time this season this has happened.
Yeah, this is probably my first time in a while I've gone straight through to the client pick band phase, but that's cool. That's cool. This is keeping us on our toes. We can get right into it, and out the bat, we do see that we're gonna get a ban from NMU. Gonna be the Lilia, and the response is that Tristana. Two of these picks. Look, Lilia is still an S tier jungler, although she has fallen in priority, I believe, in pro play. But she is still a strong jungler. So it's fast, a lot of CC. You get rid of all these very fast junglers who can clear fast, they move fast. Get them out of the game because they're so annoying to deal with.
Oh yeah, and from Team Solo Q, Bard Paranoid Simp, previously Paranoid Luck, the captain, is kind of a force for this team. Just a little bit of information about these two teams, Shang D and Bussy B coming back for Team Solo Q. Whereas in Northern Michigan University, we do have quite a few returning players in Merkexis, Not in My House, and NMU Inferno. But very sad to see it. None of the returning players from the Season 5 finals for Northern Michigan University.
All that means, Rusty, is that they have a fresh five to come through and win for themselves one more time. No repeat rings for these dudes. They're trying to continue that legacy and have a fresh five in there to get another championship here. Now, for Team Solo Q, I have casted this team before in a different league. Couldn't tell you which one it was, honestly, but I recognize all these names. I recognize all these names. These guys were in an extremely bloody matchup, though. I remember because it was a dude. It was Poetra Smeet. I remember that name. I remember Bussy B and Shang D. This is a team that will fight early and often. I'm actually really excited to see how this game's gonna go off here. 3 jungle bans, potentially 4 if that Gragas is a jungle ban there. And off the bat, this is what happens when you don't ban Seraphine on the red side. What happens, Rusty?
It gets picked, right? That's what happens.
Yeah,
That is exactly what happened. Oh my god. Oh geez, you are like a prophet in this one. Now, Seraphine being first picked right here for NMU, and the response to that is the Hecarim. So, I mean, 2 very strong champions. Obviously, Hecarim got nerfed, will get nerfed again and again until he's out of the picture. But for now, Hecarim's still a pretty strong pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, still clears very fast. He does still move very fast, even though his E was absolutely just disgustingly ripped. I think it went from 75% ramp up to 65%. And his main item, that Turbo Kim tank, got hit as well. So it wasn't just the champion that got hit, it was his item, the main item he took that got hit as well. That's so tough. But now we're going for the full zoo comp right now. Apparently, you have Hecarim into Volley Bear. Volley was also a jungler that got buffed, actually, on this last patch. But we're going to be seeing that go into the top lane. It's going to be Vetricarp piloting that champion there. There's already going to be a lot of good CC, a lot of good setup in that top lane for ganks. You get the stun off, you get the the fear for Hecarim. I mean, that's a really great setup there, and a really good front line to start off with for Team Solo Queue.
Oh, and a huge dive potential there for Team Solo Queue. And I fear for Northern Michigan University, they are going to need plenty of peel and disengage if they're going to be able to fight into that. Olaf, a champion that previous Zydeco, the MVP finalist of the Season 5, made that champion. I'm actually in tears right now. If I see a Zydeco remake, like if Zydeco is smurfing in our league, I gotta call him out and ban him. But Olaf is a great champion into this comp because it negates all that CC potential, and I just cannot wait to see what he can do with it, or if he's gonna crush under that CC that Team Solo Queue has already.
Yeah, and I think also Olaf, although we already see the Hecarim come through on R1, Olaf's a good champ into Seraphine because you don't get hit by that long Encore charm. It's one of the most annoying ultimates in the game. It's up in the top 3 for me, honestly. And the fact that it gets extended by there being champions in between you and your target is just so disgusting. But yeah, Olaf and Seraphine being on the same team is great because Seraphine sets you up. You want to get the composition of Team Solo Queue wants to get into you. They want to run at you, and that's exactly what Seraphine wants. He's just saying, okay, come into me, and I'll make sure you continue to keep walking, but you have no ability to walk backwards. And this is a very great response to this dive comp, to this heavy engage comp that you do have on Team Solo Queue. But the bans in round 2 are already started. We have the Rail coming through, and the Shin and Cho'Gath. So we're looking at Team Solo Queue wanting to get rid of Inferno's champions if he is playing the top lane here. Double ban in the top lane. It's a very smart move.
Yeah, I mean, Northern Michigan University, they already have that potential to have Olaf shredding these tanks. The Xayah really safe pick, and obviously we touched on it, Seraphine able to set up his team. So what Northern Michigan University needs is that front line that's able to stall out the back line of Team Solo Queue, and champions like Shin and Cho'Gath do exactly that. Now we're going to be seeing Team Solo Queue hovering around for their support pick, and yes, it is going to be the Thresh here to pair up with the Sivir, which I think is really strong already with this comp because they have the Sivir for the engage. Volibear and Hecarim, obviously a really frontline menace, and Thresh can pick, he can peel, he can do whatever he wants, get people out for safety, and it's going to be very hard for Olaf to get onto these Sivirs in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we have a really strong front line, and then Thresh as well, who can use that flay to get people out of there. And also, I mean, I've seen it so many times where you just use the box onto the line brush in the river. Makes it really hard for competitions to come in if you already have yourself established in the Dragon Pit or in the Baron Pit. You have a lot of really good setup with this Thresh to be not only a good engaged champion, but a good peel champion, and a good champ that just zone off other members of the enemy team so they can't even have a chance to make a move onto this Sivir and onto what I assume we're going to be seeing right now as this last pick. But before we get to that pick, we did see the Neeko come out, as well as the Sion. We love the Sion being in the meta once more. He's a very strong champion. But this Neeko with Everfrost is one of those champs that is so like sneaky strong because look, it's just really annoying to deal with a Neeko, honestly. And if you use the passive right, which I feel like most people don't use the passive all that often, all that heavily on the Neeko, on their roams and whatnot. But still, Neeko and Ahri are two champs that have just become extremely oppressive with that Everfrost build. If we do see that come out of Corallo, but the Anivia as the answer into that Neeko, we're looking at a situation where these two teams have a lot of CC and a lot of ways to trap you in and make sure that you have to be 100% dedicated to clashing in the middle, because it's going to be hard for you to get away from all this CC and all this engage from the enemy team.
Yeah, and with the follow-up, Anivia being picked for Shane D for Team Solo Queue, kind of not for that comp really, but it kind of rounds it out really well. He's going to have the wave clear, is going to be able to somewhat zone and peel for his team. Going to make it that much harder for Olaf or even Sion to do what they need to do in the front line for this team. Now, my question is Corallo from NMU on the Neeko, is he going to be able to effectively do anything to the front line of Team Solo Queue, or is that ultimate purely to get rid of Volibear and Hecarim?
Look, with this Nico here, honestly, I think it's gonna be all about the wombo combo between the encore from Seraphine into the root with Zaya calling those blades back, and then you get Nico to drop that Pop Blossom over the top. I don't know about by himself. Do I think that Corral can use this Nico to set up on this Volibear and Hecarim? Probably not. It probably won't be all that great unless Nico does get ahead in this game onto Shangdi. We may see some early jungle presence in that mid lane with Olaf coming over the top, and you can set up some pretty good. You can set up some pretty good ganks here. Anivia isn't the most mobile champ in the game, and there's a very long that Q is very long from Nico, but. I honestly wouldn't count on it. It's going to be about all about the normal combo, and not forget that the Everfrost does exist. So there's a lot of good amount of abilities and items that keep you stunned in place. And if one of your carries are fed, then you can just continually hit on that Volibear and that Hecarim. But it's going to be a very tall task for the side of Northern Michigan, because you have to get through this very, very chunky front line, and it's going to be really hard with this Hecarim and Volibear over the top.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, these should be wreaking havoc. But regardless, I'm going to take it over to a short intermission before the game gets underway. So hold on to your seats, guys. We're bringing you Game 1, Northern Michigan University versus Team Solo Qyoo from the Radon Division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for Game 1, Northern Michigan University taking on the undefeated Team Solo Qyoo. And we're already seeing a cheese coming out from Team Solo Qyoo. I cannot wait to see if this actually works. But anyway, I'm sorry. My name is Rusty. I'll be your play-by-play caster for the night. And here with me is Shellatron, your caller caster.
Yes, sir. Ooh, and the ward is placed in that tri brush there. No one actually has the sweeper, so we're not gonna be seeing any solo laners able to get level 2 off that first wave. That's really tough, but the sneaky little 5-man bot play was sniffed out very, very quickly to no avail. And what do you know? We do see Inferno go ahead and drop that ward. Someone dropped the ward onto the red buff. So the side of Northern Michigan will know what the pathing was going to be for Bar Paranoid Simp, and they will be able to play accordingly in their lanes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to invade like that, you have to be punished with aggressive vision. If you're not going for that vision, you're doing something wrong there. And unfortunately for Bard Paranoid Simp, he is just sitting right on that ward. So Northern Michigan University should be pretty safe in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah. So as long as you don't position any kind of weird, you should be doing just fine if you are in MU. And honestly, the thing is, when you do have that 5-man play that fails, you can still step up and find out what the pathing is. We can get that ward over the wall at least, and not have to blow a flash this early. But it's gonna be just fine, I think, for both these teams. We see nothing too crazy as far as keystones go. We do see Lethal Tempo onto the Sivir, so it won't be that lethality Dark Harvest version, and Phase Rush on a Nivea. Now, I won't lie to you, I don't play Nivea all that often. As Phase Rush, is that reached the Nivea players now? For all the mages in the mid lane, they all love Phase Rush. Is that what the build is now?
I mean, I would assume so, because you get the slow on it, you drop your AoE ultimate, and sometimes they just get away from you. But with that Phase Rush, you should be able to proc it with your passive, get that extra bonus damage from your W, or I mean, I apologize, your E. So it's like, it makes sense, and especially helps with getting away too. Ganks coming in, you just drop your combination and you're out of there. No hurry to get out, because that slow from Olaf ain't gonna hurt you one bit.
Nah, it won't. As you see Vegicarp and Inferno in the top lane just trading out a little bit. You can see that W just doing so well for this Vegicarp.
Well, not enough. Scion getting some good trades in as well. Inferno and Vegicarp, as you stated, are going at it. A little bit scary there for Vegicarp, though, with Lost Asterisk sitting up there grabbing that scuttle. Kind of surprised they didn't make a play on him.
Yeah, not a play being made, but there is a ward, I believe, just in that river. It's just on top of where this Olaf is. I think that's Vegicarp's ward right there. Yeah, so he's very aware of where this Olaf is, and he's still playing very aggressively. This is how you like to see your top laners, even in your solo queue games. They're just going to be hitting each other all day. They're not going to be getting any kills, most likely, but at the end of the day, at the end of the game, you're going to see the post-game stats, and they have a lot of damage on them. It's just them, just slap boxing in the top lane.
Yeah, now Paranoid Simp did ping for a gank down bot side. Whether he gets it or not, I doubt it. He is backing. Bussy B trying to pull the trigger, and the camera just going A-word there. Paranoid Simp is going to go in after Bussy B had died in an unfortunate gank attempt. But NMU turning around, picking up a second kill onto this bot lane of Team Solo Queue.
Wow, and they could have gotten away too. Like, here's Corallo, just make his presence known there with the electrocute. Go ahead and proc that. I mean, first blood gold onto your Seraphine, which I don't hate that at all. Seraphine's a champ that you don't mind. It's not like an Alistair or like a Nautilus where it's like, do I really want this 400 gold on? It's cool with getting the 400 gold onto your Seraphine. Hold up.
Oh, not much going to happen there. Ooh, the stun did come out. Shang-Di wants to make the most of this trade, running out of mana, and Corallo coming out ahead just a little bit on this gank here, unfortunately, for Team Solo Queue.
Yep, but 2v1 there where you go ahead and get that horse frozen in place and then turn around on the bird. You're saying, look, I know you're bringing the whole zoo at me, but I'm a lizard myself, or chameleon. I don't know what Nico is, actually. I'm not really deep in the lore, but either way, I'm guessing it's a chameleon. She is so she cannot deal with this wave much longer.
Oh, and then here is Lord Asterisk to make Shang-Di pay, getting the flash out of him, going in, gets the passive as well. That is huge for NMU.
Yeah, and they're just playing the game so aggressively. They're playing it so strong in this early game. The bot lane is looking very strong, and even Corallo on this Nico playing the game to perfection right now.
Yeah, the trade's coming out. Bussy B wanted to get that hook. Merkexis and not my house, making him pay for it. Again, not in my house. NMU doing great. Oh my goodness, but the Nico getting chunked by Shang-Di. Shang-Di going under tower. This is dangerous business. Does get the kill, but it's gonna fall. To the tower.
Wait.
Wow. But now down to the bot side, Paranoid Simp is going to make Not My House pay for overextending. Down he goes. Merkex is going to flash, but it's not going to be enough. The teleport coming in from NMU, or no, it's Corallo. The Nico coming down, but the flash puts him to safety. Team Solo Qyoo putting on a show.
Team Solo Qyoo just turned around their whole fortunes in one play, or at least an extended play there. None of that had to happen at all. Yes, Not My House was going to die. It was just a fact because we saw Bot Paranoid Simp come down with some great timing to get that gank. I think he hit 6 on the gank. I don't think he actually had his ultimate when he came down there. But Not My House was just dead. And Merkhexis did come through and did the right thing as a support. You want to try to peel for your AD carry. Don't think you have kill pressure here, Shangdi, but yeah. Want to go ahead and peel for the carry, but just gave away his life as well because there was no helping the Xayah at all without that level 6, not having the Feather Storm to get away. He was already dead. So then Merkhexis also gave up his life, and then Corallo TP'd to the bot lane, gave up his life as well, and what was a very strong bot lane, a very far ahead bot lane, has turned into a pretty even matchup where you could have been in a much better, much more fortuitous spot, but just trying too hard to save everyone ended up killing more people than the original play would have been if you just gone ahead and backed up and sacked that carry.
Yeah, and again, the gank's coming down here in the bot lane. Merkex is doing all that he can to stall this out as in comes Inferno to save the day. They are going to turn on to Bussy B. They are going to pick up the kill. Paranoid Simp getting really low. So is Not My House. Both of them falling at the same time. Lost Asher's coming down. 3 for 1 down to the bot side in favor of NMU.
Yep, well, we said at the top, these are two teams that want to fight early and fight often, and these fights are happening going for Quincy. That's something for the Spanish-speaking fans out there. But these guys are just going at it non-stop. 11 kills in 8 minutes. We haven't even had a single objective taken yet. Now we will get this Mountain Dragon taken right this minute, or actually it's a Cloud Drake.
Yeah, they're working on it though.
Yeah, we'll get this down right now, very, very soon. It is going to be first dragon over to NMU, and we're going to be seeing a lot more fighting, I believe, going on here as an invade happens down here in the blue side jungle of NMU.
Yeah, I mean, Paranoid Simp, obviously knowing that dragon is going to be going, immediately responds. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't go for that Herald there, but, you know, grabbing the blue buff, potentially putting out the wards to be able to get an invade. I don't know if you want to invade an Olaf, but you at least want to keep tabs on him.
Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can counter jungle here and just let him know that you know where he's at. Okay, good little smite there, I believe, just to get that Gromp. Don't think he's gonna be able to fight for this.
Yeah, no. I thought he was gonna greed for a second, and we've seen NMU Inferno rotating over as well. Or I apologize, that's the Nico. Corallo throwing me off there. But regardless, Merkex is going to be pulling the trigger. Bussy B doesn't even have a chance to respond.
You know what that play's called, Rusty?
Pulling the ultimate, but up on the top side, the call has been made. Asterisk is making the play here, but unfortunately, Bard Paranoid Simp was in the vicinity to help out his teammate. Corallo actually in a bad spot too. My goodness, NMU is just getting abused left and right by Team Solo Qyoo. This is a game. It's 7-7.
It's most definitely something, and just mispositioning left and right is the name of the game right now. Corallo just overstaying a couple times. Looked very strong in these trades early on in the game, but starting off 0-3, and this Frozen Bird is 3-1, looking much stronger, and doesn't even have the items to really show for it. Like this is a I almost said Articuno. This is an Anivia with just a CDR boot and an amp tone. This isn't like a very strong, you know, blasting wand lost chapter. Anivia. Shangdi.
Yeah, Shangdi playing with fire there. Lord Asterisk is not somebody you want to play around with. Merkex is coming up to help. Bussy B trying to help as well. It's not going to be enough, and down goes Shane Deep for the shutdown. That's a huge turnaround for NMU. They really needed that. and they got it. And that's the one champion you don't want it on. You don't want this Olaf to pop off, and already he got the shutdown gold. Now he's 2 kills, 1 death, 63 CS, and nobody's going to be able to stop him. He's going to have free roam on this Anivia and this Sivir later in the game. And Team Solo Qyoo is just going to have to, you know, say, you know, whatever. We gotta deal with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you said, he's going to be untouchable. And hold up, Mark fix this.
That was a nice hook, though.
It really was. It's right there, edge. But this is going to be super tank Olaf, not drain tank, not super bruiser Olaf. He's going for one of the either Frostfire, Sunfire, or the Turbo Kim tank. We're not going to be seeing that bruiser build come out for this. Oh, it's Kim tank. We're seeing Kim tank Olaf here. Wow. This is my first time seeing that, actually.
So, I mean, it's like permanent slow. It's a pain in the ass, and it creates a chaos factor. When your AD carry says, get this Olaf off me, I'm dying, they might not be dying as fast as normal, like a bruiser Olaf, but they're still dying. And it will force the hand of Vegicarp and Bard Paranoid Simp. Do they turn around and focus on the Olaf, or do they do their job and prevent the rest of enemy use frontline from doing their work? And again, I call it the chaos factor because it makes that decision on point. Vegicarp pulled the trigger here though on Inferno. Stormbreaker not quite able to make the play there, but in the mid lane, Corrado turning the play onto Shang Tsung. Didn't even need Olaf. Get out of here, Asterisk. That was all Nico. My goodness.
Yeah, that's when you type solo kill in the chat. You put it in all chat and say easy peasy, no counterplay at all, and you put a smiley face at the end of it. Corralo, that was just a great follow-up there from a Stardust too. I mean, just great communication, great teamwork there, in what seemed like yet another kill for this Anivia in that mid lane, and you did save your Nico's life, and now you're not as far behind as you could be, and that Everfrost is online for the Nico, so it's gonna be a very big problem moving on to the mid game.
Yeah, Bard Paranoid Simp dropping that Herald up on the top side is huge. Merkex is doing some work down here. Lord Asterisk, oh no! The Blast Plant forcing the Bussy Bee to go the wrong way. It's gonna lose his life for it right before this dragon spawns.
Rusty, you know what that play was called?
That was called the misplay from hell. Holy shit! You don't hit that Blast Plant.
No. That is called the red side team did not ban Seraphine. Now the misclick on that is a pretty bad one. But twice already we've seen this play come into action, and we've seen NMU run this play to perfection. I mean, I've never seen such mechanics in my life. You watch as the enemy team does not ban Seraphine, and you click the button, and then you confirm the pick, and look what happens. You press the R button while you're in game, and you win.
Corralo just getting chunked by Shang-Di. I mean, that's just the 1-2 punch from Anivia. Literally, almost all your life is just gone. Obviously, Asterisk is gonna have to come over. Bard Paranoid Simp is on his way as well. Nico going in, gets the root off, and down goes Shang-Di like nothing ever happened. Vegicarp's down here as well. Stormbreaker nullifying the tower. In comes the teleport from NMU Inferno, and they are doing work to take down Vegicarp. The lantern is not quick enough, and Team Solo Qyoo are on the run.
Now, I know I did not just see a double dive from Vegicarp on the volleyball with the Stormbreaker, and then Bard Paranoid Simp using the E to dive onto Nico. Said, no, I'm tired of you getting these last hit kills. You know, you're not allowed to live on the map anymore. And although Corralo was looking pretty low, Bussy Bee.
Oh, the hook coming in, but it doesn't matter. Merkexis and Not My House targeting pull by turn. Down goes Sivir, and the teleport coming in for Corralo. He's going to clean up a 2-0 in favor of NMU. They are 100% in. Oh no, the wall coming in from Anivia. Shang-Di, great play, great find. Lord Asterisk just stuck around too long.
Yeah, and that's what happens when, I think his flash was up. Maybe he just got flashed just now. Maybe he just didn't want to flash the wall. But he was not stunned or anything. He could have used his flash. He gave over a 300 bounty just for his flash. We'll have to see how that works out for him later. Uh-oh, though.
Oh, no. Bard Paranoid Simp coming in with the Onslaught of Shadows. Gonna stun up Bard Paranoid Simp, but not long enough. Not My House trying to stall it out. Going in for the kill, not for the living. And is probably gonna pay for his life. Still holding on, and down he goes. Shutdown gold 600 going over to Bard Paranoid Simp. And this is still a game, guys. It is 28.5 to 29.1k gold. 14 to 11 kills. The two dragons in the pocket of NMU.
Yeah, and the gold looks about even. It's only a 600 gold difference between these two teams. As we see the Battle of the Everfrost.
Oh my goodness. Shang-Di and Corallo just going at it left and right.
Yeah, we used to see the meta was Chem Tank abusers, but now we're seeing it's all about these Everfrost abusers. I mean, we've seen Corallo, who's been behind most of this game, get some kills based solely off of that that Everfrost there. But like I was saying, the gold lead is only 600 for the side of Team Solo Qyoo, but there's about a 1,600 gold difference just in the mid lane alone. Shang-Di has been playing very, very impressively in this game. So I mean, even though and also in the top lane, a 1,200 gold lead for the Volibear. So this pretty even or behind in these other lanes, but you have one of your carries in this Anivia and one of your strongest frontliners in that Volibear with a strong lead on their counterparts. This game is shaping up to look very, very good for Team Solo Qyoo, but they're in the deficit when it comes to dragon stacking, so they'll have to make a move at some point and win a team fight at this third Drake.
Yeah, and not only that, but they still do have to worry about Astris or man, I cannot pronounce his name. Astartes. Mainly because he is going that tank build on the Olaf. He's not going to fall immediately. And for these dragons, if NMU decides to let Team Solo Qyoo start him up prematurely, it only allows this Olaf to get into the back line and choose his target which is exactly what he wants. And it's going to be up to Shang-Di to actually prevent him from doing what he wants with that wall. But, you know, we'll see if that comes to fruition or if, things get shaken up as it has been all game. This game has been very back and forth. When one team gets a lead, it gets reversed almost immediately.
Yeah, and that's the thing about when you have two teams that want to fight early and often. They just want to get in there, run into each other, sprint into each other, really. As we do see Vegicarp still pushing this tier 2 top, but he has teleport here. We'll see what's going to happen.
Here goes NMU Inferno, the wall coming down. They get the charm onto Bard Paranoid Simp. The teleport coming in. In goes Vegicarp with the Stormbreaker, but the front line, Inferno and Corallo doing work into TSQ. Not My House up on the front line. A nice hook coming from Bussy B. Gonna take down Not My House. But right now it is a 2-for-1 in favor of NMU. They are trying to take down Bussy B, Shang-Di, and Pole Belter. And I apologize. Vegicarp still alive, so it is a 1-to-1. And down goes Corallo. Shang-Di picking up the kill here, and NMU caught between 2 and 2. This is what I like to see. Vegicarp almost gonna fall. The shield coming down. Down goes Lord Astris. TSQ just playing it right. And they're going to be chasing down Merkexis as well. Oh my goodness, Bussy B doing the work.
What?
What is going on?
No.
And it's an ace.
What just happened on my screen? Okay, NMU had a chance to go ahead and win this fight outright. They were looking like they're in a very good spot. Merkexis did have a pretty decent encore to bring in and kill Bard Paranoid Simp at the very onset of that fight. There was no jungler in there. There's no smite fight on the dragon, but Vegicarp does teleport in and he forces NMU to play that fight on two different fronts. He's on the backside, and for some strange reason, NMU decides to turn. They have 3 of their damage dealers doing damage onto Vegicarp, and he's just walking away. He's taking all that damage, and he's making them follow. He's baiting them to follow him, while we see Pole Belter and Bussy on the back end, free hitting the comp from behind, and it was a back and forth magnet pool between, are we going to try to fight this Volibear? Are we going to fight these actual damage dealers? As Merkexis is just a flash here. And then it is culminated in just the composition of Team Solo Qyoo being way too tanky and being able to withstand all of that damage coming out, and just outright winning and taking that first Drake for them in this game, and they look like they're stronger comp.
Yeah, and NMU is going to pull the trigger here. Olaf going up, getting the passive onto this Anivia, going to be able to take him down. Not My House doing some work. Vegecarp on the backside. They are going to take down Burkhexus. In comes the Onslaught of Shadows, but Not My House using the Feather Storm, picking up another kill onto Pole Belter, and this is looking really good for NMU. The Lantern save for Vegecarp, and Team Solo Qyoo, although being engaged on, looked like the superior team in that fight, but NMU played it just right.
Yeah, when I said that one team had a stronger comp than the other one, honestly, this is the definition of a coin flip. These two teams are going at it, and I mean, they don't even care about the macro or whatever anymore. We're just going in. If we see you, we're fighting you. It doesn't matter what the map state's in, what the game state's in. We just want to go in and start to tussle immediately. And look, both these teams are just so good at engaging. There's so much CC on both sides. We just saw Vegecarp walk behind the turret to stun up, I believe it was Merkexis there, and still live. He survived. This Vegecarp on this Volley Bear is just unkillable. He has Kim Tank and he has Gargoyle Stoneplate. I mean, who's gonna actually touch this bear? I don't think there's really anyone who can really kill this bear very quickly.
Yeah, it's not Unstoppable Force. I forget what it's called, but you know, Olaf happened to expend it there. Again, it's gonna have to wait a minute or so for it to come back up, which is a huge part for this Olaf. For this NMU team, honestly, to be able to win these team fights. And I do have to point out, though, that Team Solo Qyoo kind of winning in the tower advantage there, having the first round of towers already taken down, where NMU's only has gotten one at this point in the game. So NMU obviously has a clear condition here, get those last two towers, and then they can start focusing on getting some of these objectives. I am going to switch it over to the post-game scene as we are in a pause here, just to wait it out, just make sure there's, you know, nobody in stream watching or in game watching the stream. But at this state in the game, as you said, it is kind of a coin flip here, and you kind of had this prediction that, you know, NMU was going to have an uphill battle, but so far it has been left and right. Do you still see it that way, as in a late game Team Solo Qyoo just has it?
No, not at all. There is no clear-cut favorite in this game at all. I think I would have liked for a star test on this Olaf to perhaps build a little bit of damage. Now, I have seen some of these champs, like I've seen the full tank Vagar builds. This full tank Olaf build is new to me. I understand what the thought process is here. You already have a Nico that's gonna be doing damage. You already have a Xayah who's doing damage, and then Seraphine is what she is. Seraphine is Seraphine, and Seraphine's a monster, honestly. But And I get you want to have more of a front line, but you're not really a front line if you are this Olaf. You're really a guy who goes straight in, sprint to the competition, and starts doing damage, especially with that Conqueror as your keystone. I think you could have done well enough to, maybe if you did want to go, even like something like a Gold Drinker, which has been nerfed a few times, as well as Olaf being nerfed. When those two, when he was strong and that item was strong, I'm not quite so sure that Kim Tank was the best first item. I would like to see him even go to like something like a Sterix Gauge. That still gives you some damage, and you still give tanky stats, and you get that shield based off your HP. I just don't know if I like this full tank build. But even still, this game is not the build will not be the reason why NMU loses. If they do lose this game is going to come down to one singular team fight, or someone getting caught out. Like,
oh, right? That was actually a what is this? The wall coming down. Astra's just understanding the position he's in. Gonna have to pop his ultimate to get out of there. The wall's still coming down. Astras is in trouble, and down he goes to Shang T. What was that?
You see, he flashed in place. He popped Ragnarok, and then he flashed in place. No, maybe trying to flash one of those stuns, but he burned his flash, did not go over a wall or anything. He just moved 2 inches ahead of himself. If you see these two top laners doing what top laners do, go ahead and pump those damage numbers up. When we get to the post game, we'll look at the damage numbers. Don't worry.
Now Inferno is going to pull the trigger here. Vegicarp going to have to use his Stormbringer. Goes in on the Merkexus. Not My House is up here as well. Now they are going to be getting the kill onto Vegicarp. More than likely, but they're going to be trading their bot lane second tier tower for it. Not quite worth, in my opinion.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and
wow, the BM.
the BM coming down. What is expected. And Team Solo Q looking to make a trade going in for the second tier tower. They're actually just going to be sitting in the bush, camping around, hoping to get a pick here.
Yeah. This setting with Death Brush right here, you have good vision. Uh-oh. Do we catch the Seraphine? No,
they do not go on that. They actually just going to sit up next to the dragon. They're actually set up. The teleport coming in from NMU Inferno, they're going to pull the trigger very soon. But it's a little bit skewed here. Inferno and Not My House, the first two up. Featherstorm coming down a little bit prematurely. Bussy B baiting that one out. They're going to immediately start at this dragon. I don't know if that's the call here, though. Seraphine ultimate coming down, gets Bussy B. In goes Paranoid Simp. Is going to miss everything, even with the Onslaught of Shadows. But as a trade for kills, down goes Bussy B and down goes Lord Astris. They're going to be turning on to Vegicarp. Vegicarp getting really low. And they end up getting them, but it's Inferno and Corallo trying to take on Shang-Chi, Paranoid Simp, and Pole Belter, and I do not think they have the means to do it. They're still working on, oh my god, the damage!
Lord Dominic's revenge, that's what it is. Lord Dom's.
And NMU is in a position where they have to get out of here, but they do not want to give up this dragon. They want to put it on Dragon Soul Point, and Pole Belter trying to get anything. In goes Paranoid, Bard Paranoid Simp. They do not get it. Not My House ended up securing it. That is huge for NMU.
The only reason NMU survived that long is that very first item in Merkex's inventory. That Moonstone saved that whole fight. I mean, that Boomerang blade from Pole Belter, I'll say his first part of the name. Just it was this chunked out everybody on the way in, on the way back. You saw they all went to 1 HP. But with that Moonstone, just back up a little bit, use your W, go ahead and press your Qyoo one more time, and you can get some damage. Oh man.
Yeah, and NMU start up this Baron. It's at 1,500, 1,000 HP. Down it goes. And TSQ pulling the trigger here. Not My House being harassed by Vegicarp. Inferno coming to save the day on the backside. Shane D putting in the work here, though. Lord Ash is going to try to help him out. Bussy B getting really low. NMU's going to get away with the Dragon Soul Point and the Baron here for a 1-for-1.
That is so disgusting. You allow them to get the Baron in another bloody engage, and you look at the kills. They're pretty even. 23-21. Look at the gold. Not even a 1K gold lead. But if you ask anyone watching this game, the side of NMU has a very decided advantage in this game. Now, like you said earlier, the towers definitely favor Team Solo Q. TSQ has 4 to NMU's 1. But I do believe that once we start pushing out these lanes, we may see a 4-1 or 4-1 come out here. Right now we're just trying to get these jungle camps and this gold. But I definitely want to see a more emphatic push to get another turret for NMU, because you're very strong now, right? You're very strong. You can get this tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Sion you're not gonna approach this Sion if you are Pole Belter on the Sivir, so you have to go ahead and sack this tier 1 in the bot lane. I want to see at least 3 turrets taken: bot tier 1, top tier 1, and mid tier 2, and I believe it's gonna happen here. Go ahead and rotate.
Yeah, NMU is still sitting in the mid though. That's one thing. Inferno does not have that teleport, but neither does Vegicarp. But they're not going to send Vegicarp to defend that bot lane. They're going to send him top. They're going to send Pole Belter to the bot side. I'm not sure if that's the play to make, but Corallo up at the top side is going to be facing off against Vegicarp, and NMU's mid lane or bot lane, and is just going to stick mid. 1-3-1 it with roaming Lord Astris. very interesting, but it is working out for NMU. Team Solo Q does not know what to do about it whatsoever.
Yeah, Team Solo Q gets caught out here. I mean, they just don't know how to go ahead and respond to this.
Bussy B thought he had a pick with the help of Bard Paranoid Sim, but it turned out that Bard did not want anything to do with that, as Lord Astris and Corallo rotated down, pincer maneuver between that bot lane for NMU, and NMU just rolling with it with this Baron buff.
Yep, now they even out the towers that are being taken. Only about 20 seconds left on this Baron, so I think that's going to be about the end of it for the blue side. And that was a very great Baron play. The goal was fairly even early on. It was basically even, like, about 800 gold. It wasn't 1,000 yet. Now look up there, it's about a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Northern Michigan, and they didn't even record a single kill. It was all waves, all camps, and then those 3 turrets. So they played that very well, and they give themselves a lot of good priority. All these lanes are pushing, or will be pushing, once this dragon spawns in the next 50 seconds. Gonna have to go ahead and establish some vision in this bot side river. But I mean, that was just a very fantastic play from NMU. First of all, to get that Baron while fighting in a disadvantageous spot, and then make all that push happen. You can get this Infernal Soul, and the Infernal Soul with your composition, I think you just win.
Yeah, not only that though, this is the first time in this game that any team has cashed in that much gold. So NMU is leaps and bounds ahead of Team Solo Q is at any point in this game. Comparable to any point in this game. Not only that, but you look at the levels, NMU is up almost in every category outside of Shang-Di versus Corallo. So NMU should take this dragon for absolutely free. I think Team Solo Q would be crazy to go for it, but they're going to have to. They need that poke from Shang-Di. They need to pick somebody. And there it is, the hook coming down, but nothing's going to happen of it. Inferno getting a nice pick onto Shang-Di. He uses the Zonias. Busting B's really low. Shang-Di's passive pop. Down goes Bard Paranoid Sim. Vegecarp on the front line's going to get deleted. Down he goes. Team Solo Q is out of here. In goes Ashes for the final kill. NMU with an ace. They don't even need the dragon. They're just going to push this one in.
Rusty, do you know what that play was called?
That was the don't you didn't ban Seraphine? Shit, I forgot what you. Yeah.
That's the basic idea. It's a very hard play to run. Look, it's a very hard play to run. It requires the mechanics of an absolute god. I know this isn't a grandmaster / challengers level league, but just a very quick piece of advice for anyone ever drafting ever in the competitive league. When you have anyone on the opposite team who's ever played even a norms game of Seraphine, you go ahead and ban that out on red side.
Yeah, no kidding. And NMU is going to be taking the game 1 in this matchup in the Radon Division. And yet, unfortunately, I got to exit out here. But a huge turnaround. A lot of people were saying Team Solo Q is definitely not going to lose this. I do believe only in the pick'ems, only 4 teams chose NMU, and they're starting off strong here. And I think...
yeah, I mean,
pick, more than likely we'll see somewhat of the same for this Hecarim. Now my question is, does he go full tank or does he go bruiser?
I've started to see more bruiser Hecarims lately.
Really?
Because of the, I casted a couple of them, but I still do think that Kim Tank might still be the way to go.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Unless, I mean, only into, like, if you have no damage on your comp, then I guess I can see that. Maybe you want to go Swain bot or whatever, but Xayah is the pickup here for Not My House, so we're not going to be seeing any situation where we should see a Hecarim needing to go ahead and go damage. But when you do pick Hecarim, that already indicates that you are planning on going in and engaging heavily and often, and you want to either dive or make these plays under tower pretty consistently. And we'll see if the competition that the side of NMU does draft reflects that. Now, we have seen this Caitlyn get picked up here for Pole Belter, and I don't hate the Karma pickup. This still could be a solo lane Karma and not a support Karma. But the thing about Caitlyn is that every single time you pick a Caitlyn, she is defined by two things and two things only. One is trap placement, and two is her ability to cash in on early game plates, even without the Herald. A Caitlyn who can't get plates is a pretty useless Caitlyn around the 13 to 16, 17 minute mark. And a Caitlyn that can't place traps is basically just a auto attack machine, which a lot of ADCs are. But if you can't place your traps right at the right places at the right time, you really shouldn't pick Caitlyn at all.
No, I do like how that Team Solo Q was hovering that Karma, eventually went to Morgana, and NMU said, yeah, we want that Karma. Please give it to me. More than likely could be paired up with the Xayah, could be the solo lane. We shall see. Same with the Morgana. Honestly, I don't know who wins that matchup, Karma or Morgana. More likely Karma, right?
I think the push definitely goes to Karma, but you're still gonna be pretty protected with Shangdi, or no, with Bussy B on the Morgana with the Black Shield. Black Shield is one of the most broken abilities. There's so many broken abilities in the game, but Black Shield is so strong. Honestly, the Teemo getting hovered, I want to see it. Oh man, this garbage Scion. No, Teemo wrecks this matchup, whatever it's gonna be for the top lane of TSQ. But there's no way we're gonna be seeing a Morgana jungle, Morgana mid. No way, right?
It's Morgana mid more than likely if this Leona gets locked in. We've seen it plenty of times. Morgana can be a really strong mid laner, and it's more for her utility than it is her prowess in the mid lane. It's actually going to be a Maokai. Just kidding. Maokai top. Possibly, or support?
Could be Morgana mid still. But
throwing us off our game.
This is one of those comps outside of the Victor that would have been good for a Hecarim to go damage. When you have Morgana, Maokai, even a Volibear, that would have been a good situation for you to go Trinity Force on Hecarim if Hecarim was in this composition. But we are going to see it be Maokai top, Volibear jungle, I believe. Although even Morgana can go jungle. There's a lot of things that can happen in this comp for Team Solo Q. We'll have to see when they do swap these picks around. We'll see where these guys go. But as far as NMU's composition, we're looking at them picking up, like I mentioned, the other one of these Everfrost abusers. We had Nico last game, we even had Anivia. Now we get Ahri, who I think is the queen of Everfrost abusers in this game. So destructive, and just like the Caitlyn, there is a strong, I don't know about if I call it a win con, but like a play con, where you are completely defined. Your whole Ahri game is completely defined by how early and how consistently you can hit charms. If you can't hit charms on Ahri, it is kind of a bad champ to play, and charms into Everfrost procs is just so disgusting to deal with. The Scion and the Hecarim coming over top and all that speed you have from Karma. I mean, you can be so strong. There's just another comp right here that has a ton of CC for team for NMU here.
Yeah, and with Team Solo Q, they do have the Maokai, Morgana, and the Volibear combination. Volibear with his Stormbringer can obviously go for the tower dives. Maokai and Morgana have very clear CC abilities. You'll land it, come in with the Stormbringer, almost an instant kill in the mid and bot lanes. So I kind of wonder if they're going to be playing that card or if they're just picking up the Volibear to keep it in their pocket and keep it away from Northern Michigan University. But I do have to agree with you. Victor, a really strong pick. Aubrey, a really great abuser. But like my question is can Victor even get a heads up on this Aubrey? Aubrey, known to have a very safe mid lane, is post 6, is going to be able to get away from almost any ganks or even dives in that situation. Victor not having that instant CC, and with the fact that Corallo was completely fine last game for the utility champion, does Shang-Di take this one, or is Corallo just going to outlast him and go into the late game with it?
Yeah, the thing about, like you said about Victor, is you have to take time to scale, and early on he's not very strong, but later on he has all that zoning and that wave clear. You can maybe set up a pretty strong 4-1 here. Don't know how well I like the 1-3-1. It could possibly be a decent enough move there for Team Solo Q. But look, if Corallo can hit these charms, then I think Ari just is going to be so strong, especially in these team fights, especially when you have a Volibear who needs to face tank, especially with this Maokai who can have some very strong engages, who doesn't really need to step up on you to get that CC layer down on you, and then Morgana over the top with the bindings. I still do, based off of champions, I like Ari more because she has that Everfrost, but based off compositions, the engage and the CC lock you're gonna get from the side of Team Solo Q is a little hard to deny. It's very hard to have an answer for it, especially with Bussy B with the timely black shielding on any of these champs you want to try to engage on or try to CC yourself. They'll be invulnerable, and honestly, I have to say here, this is a situation where I think we're going to be getting the full 3-game series.
Oh, it more than likely will be. Before it gets into the game, though, which we have 10 seconds left, I do want to give a little bit of a counterpoint here. The NMU, they have 3 champions that have really good disengage. Ari, Zaya, and Karma. Hecarim and Sion, you want them to be up in the front line. So whether they can outlast that CC from Team Solo Q or not, that is the question. I 100% agree. But as we're going to this game, I will put over to a very short intermission, and we shall be back. And as I said, a very short time until in game. Welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen. This is game 2, Team Solo Q taking on Northern Michigan University, where Northern Michigan University took game 1. And one thing I did not get into, and I'll get into a second after introductions. Again, my name is Rusty, and I will be your host and play-by-play caster. And here with me tonight is the caller caster, Shelly.
What up?
All right, one thing that I did want to get into, and I completely forgot what it was. It'll come back to me, promise.
You were definitely going to talk about.
No, you don't know. You don't even know.
You were gonna talk about what kind of skins these guys are using here.
No, I remember now. Okay, so again, this is back. I've already stated this before, but this is the rematch from the Season 5 Metashift League, the 120 div, where Northern Michigan ended up taking it in Game 5 on the back of Zydeco. Obviously not in this game, and this is actually a fully removed Northern Michigan University team. A lot of these players did play last season, but not in Season 5. So yes, this is, again, for a rematch, but somewhat not of a rematch, unfortunately.
A rematch in name, but not in. Uh-oh, look at this cheesy cheese right here.
Just get some cooldowns.
Yeah, just saying we can hit our skill shots here. Just the next one might kill you, though it probably won't. But you just want to go ahead and assert dominance whenever you can. Go ahead and throw those out there.
Yeah,
And,
those Qs going wide and left. Bussy B missing 2 already, but no big deal. It's on a relatively short cooldown. I believe in Bussy B to land 1 or 2 at least this game, as he did land quite a few thresh hooks last game.
Yeah, was very strong on that. That's
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
The chunk damage coming out from Merkexis there with the Karma. Pole Belter going to be in a little bit of trouble if he takes a few more of those.
Level 2 advantage is very strong in this bot lane. And we do see Merkexis going for the heal and the Comet, while Not My House takes the cleanse and the lethal tempo. I do love to see that Xayah has the cleanse there. Like I said, there's so much CC coming off from TSQ. You definitely want to take cleanse here. You definitely don't want to. You want your Karma to give you the heals there. So I have no problem with that in the very least. Outside of that, we're not seeing very many strange keystones. Predator on the Volley Bear. This tells me that we're going to be seeing Paranoid Simp be very aggressive early on. Once we get all that speed in there, and we know that the jungle meta is all about which of these junglers can run the fastest. And you have that Predator, you are among the fastest in the entire game. Lethal tempo for Pole Belter on Caitlyn. That's one of the strong options you can get with Kate. So really nothing too crazy here.
Yeah, the trade's coming out down on the boss side. Bussy B landing under the Qyoo. Again, Direct Camera's going to be focusing mostly on this bot lane because that's where the most trading is going on. Just kidding. Shane D called me a liar. Be trading with Corallo there. As the dragon is going to be spawning in about a minute, Lord Astrus is on the bot side clearing, will not have that rotation around for bot side unless he backs and rotates down or possibly goes for a gank, which I do not see happening. Meanwhile, Bard Paranoid Simp is rotating down for a gank. Not in My House going for the kill there. Does get ignited. Merkexis and Not My House still sitting a little bit up, and the recall coming down for Bard. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think one mantra Qyoo and Pole Belter is going to get cooked. Hold up, though. Corallo.
Yeah, Corallo, no mana. It's getting poked out by Shane D once again, just like game 1. But unlike game 1, the CS difference isn't that large at the moment.
Yeah, not large at all. I do want to see Corallo be able to go back and come back pretty healthy here. Now, no teleport on this Ahri. Take Ignite into this matchup. So you're going to have to sack what should be a whole wave. Hopefully, Startez doesn't take his Raptors, takes the wave. No, you're a jungler. The #1 rule. If you want to go ahead and take that.
Yeah, I mean, that is free gold, free experience, and you're gonna get that a lot faster than taking your camp. You're gonna be a lot healthier, and that camp's gonna be there when you come back to it. I 100% agree with that. Obviously a common mistake.
Corallo got back to that wave. I think he only got 2 CS off of it. I think he missed most of that under tower. Like, not just missed it out of like just being just absent from it. I think he just missed as in just did not last hit all but 2 of that wave that went to the tower. So
that's unfortunate, but not that bad because you still get the experience from it. That's the most important part of it.
That's a little bit. Oh, hold on.
Now in comes Bard Paranoid Simp, and Corallo's not going to have a chance getting CC'd, and down he goes. As Dragon spawned as well, so TSQ has the ability to make a play on it, but Vegicarp getting abused by this dirty Scion player that Inferno is.
Yeah, this Maokai, you pick the Maokai up there, you're going to have to try to just stay alive. You're definitely...
the play is going to come in. Vegicarp's going to make the play, does use his flash a little bit preemptively. There's no reason to really use it, as you know you're going to die there. But regardless, Team Solo Q is on that Dragon. They are going to have that priority there. And that's the price you pay if you're Northern Michigan University. Get a kill onto this Hecarim. Hopefully get him to pop off before the second Dragon spawns and help get that second Dragon.
Yeah, you trade over kills for the first objective. Really just fine here. Uh-oh.
The Clint's coming down, and Not My House and Merkexis wanted to turn that around into a fight, a winning fight. But that cleanse was a little bit premature, in my opinion, because the Bussy B was just trying to land one. Just throw one out. If it hits, it hits.
There was no fault at all because we saw Merkexis completely zoning out Pole Belcher from far away. The worst that was going to happen was you maybe get a pull underneath you, but even that's not bad. Never mind, I don't know what's that. Just a little Qyoo that goes in there. No real kill pressure. I mean, there's a lot of trading going on in both the top and the bot lane, but in the bot lane specifically, there's not a ton of kill pressure on either one of these lanes.
Corallo missing the taunt there, but Onslaught of Shadows does get the fear and the knockback for Lord Asterisk. The flash coming down from Shang Di. The stun coming in. That is huge under tower.
Ooh.
Almost being taken down. But as you were saying, like, a lot of trading going down, but it's 1 kill to 1 kill, where previously it was just kill after kill. So a completely same pace, different game.
Completely different game here, but not for lack of trying. These two teams are trying to go at it. Now we're looking at this bot lane, a little bit of head scratching going on with some decisions going on here. A lot of close near-death experiences in this bot lane, but nothing too crazy. There may be a potential dive brewing, but no, we're gonna see Magikarp, or no, Bot Paranoid Simp go ahead and get back to his own jungle and dip out of there after taking the wolves for himself. But yeah, we're looking at this pretty stable lane states all across the map, outside of the mid lane where there's a 20 CS lead for this Victor, which should not be the case this early on into this Ahri. Well, let's see how that pans out later on. But everywhere else, just a little bit of slap boxing going on, a lot of fighting, no real kill pressure unless there is some jungle interaction.
Now, just some interesting trivia, I guess. Shang Di was previously the support for Team Solo Q, and honestly, the best support in the league back in Season 5. In my personal opinion, it was actually NMU Beg, but I got outvoted by a large vote margin. And NMU Beg is actually, I think he's coaching for NMU. So, it doesn't surprise me one bit that Shang Di is excelling in this mid lane. And he is just a monstrosity for this Team Solo Q team.
Is that Beg spelled B-H-E-G-S? Or no?
B-E-G. Beg for mercy.
Okay. Oh, it's Beg? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I cast a
Ooh, but the gank coming down from Lord Asterisk down to the bot side. Not in my house. Really low. Almost falling. Pole Belcher not quite getting. Bussy wanting to go for the kill. The bait coming in by Not in my house. And Lord Asterisk picking up a 3rd kill on this Hecarim. NMU looking really good in this game.
Yeah, this horse looking very strong, able to get that kill, and then immediately says, I'm going to go ahead and counter jungle. We see that the Volibear is up top, so let's go and take these chickens, maybe these Krugs as well, and make a move to get another gank off, because look how far pushed Shang Di is. Shang Di is on the Raptors up top. Now you can make a move to go ahead and maybe potentially dive. Gets spotted though.
Yeah, Lord Asterisk is still trying to counter jungle. As this dragon starting, a little bit of a misplay in my personal opinion. You don't want to advertise where you are in that situation. And now you have to go back, which you're going to catch in that gold. You're going to be completely fine. But it does give the opposing team a little bit of a sense of understanding of what you want to do. And it might help them decide if they want to make a play on this dragon or not, which, again, they're up a dragon. It's similar in gold. There's no reason why they don't.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I agree. He should not have shown himself there. Not going to get punished for it because he's so strong and the bot lane really can't afford to die anymore. But as the Rift Herald gets dropped fairly early, I don't know if that was going to time out.
No.
Got pushed. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
you just drop it to force your opponent to clear it, so you have that advantage at dragon, and that's exactly what it is. Merkexis trying to do something. Shang Di's actually just taking this tower. That's actually super smart. Force the mid laner to stay there, and NMU has to give up this dragon.
Yeah, well, I thought that Bard was going to go ahead and... Oh, wow.
Oh, they're making the play, though. In comes Inferno. Asterisk is on the charge. They're going to make a play here. Inferno with the Unstoppable is going to get up there. Bussy B is going to fall. They're going to turn on to Pobelter. Pobelter's out of here. Bard using the blast plant to get over the wall, but still on the run there. That was an insanely smart play coming out from NMU.
Yeah, they literally waited for the exact second that Vegicarp finishes his teleport up back to the top lane, and then Sion comes down to the bot side river, and with that engage there, they get those 2 kills. Bar Paranoid Simp gets out of there, but I mean, you're just already in a great situation right now if you are NMU. Now, I thought we would be able to see a... Hold up. We let no kill onto the Ahri. I thought kill brush. Never mind.
Yeah, and NMU looking to further the lead here. Down here on the bottom, picking up the kill on the Bussy B, but the teleport coming in from Shane D, the carry for Team Solo Q. They're going to pick up 1 kill. Not My House going to have to flash over the wall, but so does Bard Paranoid Simp. Merkex is trying to help out his AD carry. Not My House. Ignite taken down, does pick up the kill, and a little bit of greed goes not a long way as Team Solo Q picks up 2 kills for nothing.
Texas? Yeah, you don't want to go ahead and fight that all the way. And that was a kill that was secured by the Bomby Cinder of that Volibear. It's the burn coming out over time. That's all he has is Lucidity Boots and that Bomby Cinder. And that's what got that kill. But what was great was maybe it would have been a little bit better, I think, if Pobelter had gotten the kill with the ace in the hole. But the shutdown gold for Lost did go on to Bard Paranoid Simp, and while he was behind, that gold would have probably been a little bit better onto your Caitlyn, but we'll see how this works out for him and the team in general. I was gonna say when we saw that Death Brush getting set up there that this was looking like a pretty decent 2-0 for an NMU. They were taking this game by storm, where it looked like it could have potentially been a split series. Hold up.
Yeah, Coronalo gonna pull the trigger onto Shang Di as he does go up a little bit far. Asterisk with the Onslaught of Shadows goes a little bit too far. He's gonna pay the ultimate price, and Corallo, believing in his teammates, gonna follow up. It's not all lost though, because NMU does get that bottom tower, first tower gold.
And what's really sad is you just know in the comms Corallo was saying, I ignite it. He's one shot, go in. And
oh, the shields.
Lost said, okay, I'll go in there, and yeah, that Morgana Black Shield is so tough to play around. You have to always be aware. It's like, no, you have to know that the shield can come up, and any of those abilities you have will get blocked. At least magic abilities. But
Inferno pull the trigger on Shang Di. We've seen it before. This Sion is a threat. In comes Bard Paranoid Simp, and Vegicarp on the tail end of this. Merkex and Inferno are going to back off, even though Asterisk is here with the Hecarim, as well as the bot lane from NMU. A fight can break out at any point. Bard's going to pull the trigger here. Merkex just slightly misses, and it's just going to be a toss-up, because now Team Solo Q knows that there's 5-all here. They're going to give this one up.
Yeah, TSQ knows that they're just not strong enough to really get into a fight with these boys here, so all this priority in the river, you have all this vision, the river is being lit up red right now, so they're going to go ahead and potentially get this Rift Herald that's going to be spawning in the next 15 seconds, but Ocean Drake is on the map in a minute, so if you are TSQ and you don't want to try to flip this, maybe you can go for a steal. You can set up some vision in the bot side river yourselves. Oh no. Yeah,
again, Bard going in. Yeah, drawing the attention of NMU. Nothing really coming of it except for a little bit of chunkage coming down on Bard. The full team of Team Solo Q around this Herald here, while Inferno pushes in that top side, potentially getting this top side just through minions alone. It's going to force Vegicarp back up top, and now NMU is in a position just to rotate down for Dragon, as Vegicarp does not have this teleport.
Yeah, NMU could go to the drag, but we're seeing potentially the Sion trying to soul this out. No, I think
just clearing vision.
Yeah, clearing vision in that pit there, and the NMU is just they have TSQ on a string. They're pulling them to one side of the map, then pulling him somewhere else on the map. Uh-oh, Texas gets kind of chunked to 1 HP, but yeah, they're pulling and manipulating TSQ so well here, and with this Dragon on the board, we're definitely gonna get a 5v5 fight here.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon, obviously, you hit it once, started up. I don't know about not in my house taking the tower shots or the shots from Dragon there, but, you get it started, Loud beats a pivotal point. Force your opponent to start it up. Kexis getting really low, and now NMU just not in a position to fight for this, really. Nope. They need Team Solo Queue to start it up. In goes Inferno, not quite what they want, but they do get the kill onto Shang D instantly. And Inferno does fall, but he gets the passive. Bard Paranoid Sip is down. Busty's B with the Zonias end up falling. Vegicarp and Pole Belter, the remaining survivors, are able to put in the damage. Pole Belter extremely healthy. NMU backs off on this one.
They back off. There's no smite for either team, and we're going to be seeing Vegicarp go ahead and reset. Caitlyn at level 9 cannot slow out a dragon, although she will try. Let's see if Pole Belter actually decides to make this move happen. Oh, TP on the top. Going to be Vegicarp. Yeah, this is going to be a dragon over to the side of TSQ here after a whole bunch of posturing there, and I think it was mostly because Merkexis stepped up in this banana brush earlier on before the dragon even spawned and took that huge chunk from Victor, and then from then on Merkexis was this 1 HP doing that whole posturing, doing that whole dance around the dragon. They had really no shot to do anything. It was a 45 the whole time.
Yeah, again, these two teams starting it off. Merkexis, unfortunately, on the back end of Lord Astrus's engage, and so is Corallo. It's just unfortunate to see, one person wants to make a play, and the team is not all quite there with it, and they get out, and then like you sit around to pay the price there. Lord Astrus has to be a little bit more careful about those engages on this Hecarim, as it does bait in quite a bit for his team.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're the Hecarim, or you're a champ that has a lot of agency and mobility, yes, you can get out, but your teammates see you making that move. They see you moving forward. They can't see your mouse hovering back over to click backwards, so they're already committed going in, and they can't get out as easily as you can get in. Hold up.
Inferno, a huge factor again with another engage. NMU really does need to use this Inferno for these engages, because almost every time Inferno engages, they come out on top.
Your point gets proven literally immediately as you are making it. Merkexis does miss that ward right there, just over that river wall, but a collapse coming here.
Yeah, Vegicarp find himself in a bad position. He should be able to get out still. Twisted Tree Line advance coming down. It is going to stall this out, but not in my house. And Merkexis is here to help clean up. He is literally just a walking tree, taking so much damage. And eventually falls. Unfortunately, his team was not able to rotate fast enough.
Yep. Oh.
And Lord Astrus with the Onslaught of Shadows does go in. Doesn't quite get the fear. Is going to have to back off to stay alive. Doesn't get out enough in time. Bard Paranoid Simp is getting taken down. Gets away. That is not a trade that you want to take if you are NMU.
That is exactly what we just talked about. That is a Hecarim baiting his team in, and you have all that agency for yourself, and then he just gets caught out by that Victor. I mean, you cannot play the game like this. Yes, you are super fed. You see this all the time in solo queue when someone has a free lane or they have a very strong early game and they think they're invincible from that moment on, and they make plays as if they're invincible. And sometimes you can win 1v1s if you're going like that, but you can't win those 1v2s, those 2v4s, and when your team isn't with you all the way and not able to follow up on your engage, then you're just going to be killing yourself, and it's going to set the team behind because you're so strong, you're off the map, that's a lot of pressure on the map, and your carries aren't the ones who are individually strong themselves, and with you making moves like that, that only makes it even better for Pole Belter to go ahead and go into LDR second. This Lord Dom is going to have extremely high value in this Hecarim who keeps facing up and face checking and engaging, and the Scion on Inferno. So your tendencies are also kind of dictating the item build a little bit, and now I mean the game has swung pretty confidently, pretty strongly in TSQ's favor.
Yeah, and I have to put this out here because it's an unpopular opinion of mine, but Hecarim, in my personal opinion, is not an engaged champion. He doesn't excel well in starting fights. Where he excels at is coming in with the counter engage or the follow-up engage. As, you know, it forces your opponent into engage on a certain champion or on a certain objective, and then you come in and create a chaos factor, allowing your team to be able to do whatever they want and forces the opposing team to focus on what is going on, which is Onslaught of Shadows and the 2.5 second fear that it is. So if NMU wants to get back on this game, they need Lost Asterisk to calm down just a little bit on these engages, follow up with Inferno, or at least wait for Bard Paranoid Sip to go in so he can engage on Shang Di and pull Belter.
And wow, this is a great play here. Wave is shoved bot side, and there's no one to answer this Rift Hero. They're gonna get this tier 1 bot for free, probably tier 2, because this turret could die.
Yeah, I mean it was going to fall regardless. That's a gimme. You have to give it up. Now the bait there, I think Shang Di could have waited a little bit longer on that one. Now NMU is all grouped up. They engaged by Inferno coming in. They go immediately on Shang Di. Shang Di getting real low. The Black Spell Shield did not save him, but down goes Not in My House as well. Bard Paranoid Simp doing work. Lost Asterisk unable to pick up any kills on to pull Belter, as he is kind of the tank Hecarim that he is. And TSQ just cleaning up on this backside. Inferno slowly but surely is going to get taken down. Corallo not giving up though, tries to go in onto Pole Belter and falls for it. And finally Inferno is going to fall. That is an ace for Team Solo Qyoo.
That's an ace, and we saw Corallo maybe look a little bit tilted there, flashing forward, trying to get a kill on the Pole Belter. Was not happening at all. You're just not very strong on this Ahri just yet. I did say that Ahri is one of the strongest champions in the game with that Everfrost, but Corallo isn't having as strong of a game on this champion as he did last game on the other champ he abused Everfrost on. And we're looking at Ocean Soul. This is Ocean Soul for a Maokai and a Volley Bear. And then over the top, you do have that Morgana with all the shielding and whatnot. So it's going to be extremely and significantly more difficult to get on top of these champions. And with Shang Di having all the zoning he has and all the wave clear, you already see them setting up into a 4-1 right now. Actually, Victor coming back down, not wanting to really try to push this wave too much. But still, they have a very strong 4-1 comp. It could even be a 1-3-1 if Maokai can stay safe enough in a side lane, and from there on, I mean, how do you answer these pushes? I mean, you really can't. It's just very hard.
Not whatsoever. So this is Team Solo Q's game to lose. I mean, they're obviously in the driver's seat. They can win this easy if they play smart and safe. NMU, they've not been very careful in that last team fight. You could see that Inferno and Astartes went way too deep, you know, going for Pole Belter. They didn't get Pole Belter. They immediately got Shang Di, which was great, but they went too far for Pole Belter. And the problem is Not in My House ended up dying for nothing. If they would have just turned around and saved Not in My House, that could have easily been resolved into an NMU win. But that is not what happened. So we'll see if NMU can turn this around, or maybe it's a little bit too far gone with that Ocean Soul in their pocket.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing that we mentioned earlier. It's just that you can go in and you can be safe or get back out, but you're also leaving your teammates out to dry. Now, Vegicarp, like I said, who can answer this Maokai? But a 2v1.
I mean, my goodness, he's literally 2v1ing right now, still full health. What the hell is this? What am I watching?
Literally no damage. literally no damage. He took damage, but with that Ocean Soul, when you don't have a sustained damage for yourself, you send 2 members. Look, you sent 2 members to enter a Malphite of all things. Just think about that. That's just tough.
How do you stop him? I mean, that was 2 unkillable tanks, but except for Inferno walked away with, maybe 1/8 of his, or 8/10 of his health. 4/5? Yeah, sorry, fraction's hard. But Vegicarp, 100% HP. Hecarim comes in, still 100% HP. How do you answer that except for unless you have health reduction? But regardless, Team Solo Qyoo is going to pull the trigger. They're going to catch out Not My House. And again, with the Ocean Soul up 5k gold, this game is in their hands.
Yeah, Ocean Soul, the ADC of NMU is gone. We should be seeing a Baron push right now. I mean, there's no real damage from anyone. Carl doesn't damage. Inferno has good engage, does no damage. Hecarim is probably going to kill himself at some point trying to engage to do damage. Look at this.
Jesus, Shang-Chi, a little bit of a bait there, is going to be basically a choke point for Crowlo and Merkexis. Inferno wants to go in as Pole Belter is just 2v1ing the Baron with Bard Paranoid Simp. NMU does not have an id. That Baron is down to 4,000 HP. Not My House is on his way, 3,000 HP. Lost Asterisk goes in a little bit too early. Is going to fall for nothing. Merkex is really low. Is going to fall to Shang-Di. And Rude coming down now. Corralo in a very troublesome spot is going to fall to Vegicarp. Get out of here, Pole Belter. And this game is all but won for Team Solo Qyoo.
Yeah, the game is over minus the particulars, meaning damage totals, CS scores, all that stuff. Now, that was the definition of a tilt play from Lost. He had the Onslaught of Shadows there before he tried to just E into the Baron Pit. If he wanted to steal, he could have dropped the control ward and then just use the Onslaught of Shadows over the wall and try to get a smite fight. Instead, he walks into the front door. Everyone's looking at him like, you're early, right? And we can go ahead and kill you, right? Look at this. I mean, there's nothing really to look at here. The health bar is getting obliterated. You think that Shang-Di had Infernal Soul the way he's popping these health bars.
No kidding. Shang-Di on this Victor is just popping off. We'll see what we can get here.